You see the shirt, you know what it is. It's turtle time, people. The moment a lot of people are waiting for, the release of TMNT, The Last Ronin, #1, IDW Publishing. It's out this week, and we're gonna have some fun. So this is the dystopian, super, futuristic story. Well, not that future, but the dystopian future story. NYC. We have the last turtle. The brothers are dead. Master Splinter's dead, and we have one remaining brother. We don't know who he is. And that's what this story kind of centers around. This 5-issue miniseries. They're doing it here. Like, the story that's, I guess, is kind of been making its way around, and they brought it back. Like, all right, we're going to tell the story now. So I was thinking, you know what? Let's talk about this. And I want to run down some reasons why it could be any of the 4 turtles and why it might not be them. But I also have to make the disclaimer that I have already read the issue, so I can't even drop my prediction of who it was going to be because I already know who it is, and I can't do that in earnest knowing that information. So I wish I would have made this video before I read it, and I'm like in the process of writing up a review for it. So we're gonna do it anyway because I still thought this would be fun and get all of you in here, get everybody's predictions on who it might be. It's pretty much who I was kind of leaning towards it being. So yeah, I'm curious to see what people think of this. Honestly, I also didn't think it was going to be revealed in the first issue. I thought it was going to be at least another issue or 2, even though it's only 5 issues. I'm like, oh, all right, they're going to do it right away. All right, let's go right in. So, not right away, but at the end of the issue. So, but right away as far as the first issue of the series. So let's jump right in. The Last Ronin. So we don't really know what happened. Even will say that from reading the issue, don't know what happened. You just have there's just one turtle left, and he's out for revenge. And yeah, so it was like, all right, so let's jump right into. I'll start with the turtle who I'm trying to figure out how to word this, but the turtle I feel like has a higher profile since he actually died in the previous or in the current ongoing turtle series. Donatello, who died in what's that? TMNT number 44, 45 or something like that. And even though, I also have to remember that this mini-series, The Last Ronin, doesn't really connect to that. So all right, so all that type of stuff really doesn't play into effect here. But I figured, you know what, I'll mention that anyway. It's kind of like my reasoning. It's like, okay, so could it be Donatello? Now, if you look at the 4 turtles, and if you were to look at just based on fighting ability, Leonardo and Raphael, obviously at the top of the list. And then Donatello and Michelangelo behind them. Now, who would you rank third and fourth from Michelangelo, Donatello? That's gonna vary. I mean, I don't even let me know in the comments below, who would you put ahead of the other one? In any given day, it could be either one of those 2. But then all right, so Donatello died, and if you really think about Donatello's the tech one, Michelangelo's the party dude, how they've obviously gone through most of the same training, and then kind of depending on where you're talking about, movies, television, video games, if you want to do that, comics, and all the different series and iterations, it's all going to vary, but you can pretty much say okay, they've all had the same training, but they don't all have the same skill set and ability. So I would put Donatello, obviously more technologically advanced dude, but how skilled of a fighter is he compared to the other 3? Not so much. So it was okay, I could see if something happens to the 4 turtles, Donatello's probably the first to get he's gonna be first to die. So I'm okay, what would happen if this kind of story came? It's okay, but then he died, seeing as how he died, and I went, okay, maybe they could be trying to reverse his luck and make him the last Ronin to kind of bounce back from that. And probably Donatello might be, I don't even know who could be even the least popular of the 4. They're also just dope characters. So Donatello could be that for those reasons, but then he could also not be because of those same reasons. He would die. He would get killed. Something they were in some just think of some epic fight that the turtles were into. Whoever it is, Foot Clan, aliens, whatever, robots, who cares, cyborgs. Donatello could easily be the first one to die, first off the board. And you move into Michelangelo, and the party dude, and is he obviously he wouldn't be anywhere near as skilled a fighter as Leonardo or Raphael. Obviously, we're going to be at the top, and even those 2 are going to be like depending on who you are, like your mileage may vary. Like any given day, like you could pick a different person. Either one of those two could be like your number one like skilled fighter. I would say Leonardo, but I think a lot of people would lean towards Raphael because I think more for his ferocity and just his like aggression level is higher. So they're like, okay, so he'd be more head on, but then I feel like you could use that against him. But anyways, back to Michelangelo. Could Michelangelo be the last Ronin? And you could say, well, he's similar to Donatello since he's not as skilled a fighter. If something were to happen, he's likely one of the likelier two to go down, like sooner rather than later. So it could be that. But then you could also say he could be the last one. Maybe if he like something happens and the brothers go down first, and he just like turns it around and like survival instincts kick in and those ninja skills, that ninja training, and he ends up and like turns around and ends up the survivor. Like that could absolutely work in Michelangelo's way and kind of turn off the like the party boy, not gimmick, but like the party boy personality or aspects of his personality. Like, okay, you know what, he's gonna just go full in Ninja Turtle and like fuck all the pizza time shit and skateboarding. Like he's ready to kick some ass. So like I could see Michelangelo being the last Ronin like that. Like, oh, you know, it'd be an absolute twist if he outlasts. That would be the cool part too, because it could be Michelangelo because he could, like, as I said, as a twist, like people probably wouldn't expect him to outlast everybody. But then it's like, oh, you know, since everybody has the expectation, let's make him the last Ronin for that. So that could work for Donatello and Michelangelo, which would be kind of interesting as well. And then you have Leonardo and Raphael. And obviously, as I said, they're the most skilled fighters, or the higher skilled fighters of the four. And now which one you pick, Leonardo's the more like precision and dedicated, the leader obviously, and I think he's the more in tune as far as if you're just thinking about the ninja aesthetic and what it would take, like the skills, like the skill set of a ninja, and I think he's the more in tune with that. If you were like ninja or samurai, just obviously for that like that Japanese historical aspect of the Ninja Turtles and that influence, obviously a strong influence. Like Leonardo checks all those boxes. But then Raphael, as I said, with the aggression and like the ferocity, like that anger, like that could weigh heavily. So like that could carry you far, but they can also be your downfall. And then Leonardo, again, just with that skill set, like he's like the more balanced and like just in tune with that. And there's a specific word I was looking for, just completely skipped my mind. But like obviously I could see Leonardo being the best one, but I feel the thing that also works against Leonardo, because that would be too easy of a pick, if you know what I'm saying. It was like, oh, everybody would expect him to be that, so it's like, all right, you know what, Leonardo's probably off the board off the bat. Like Leonardo's gone. And then Raphael, for his popularity, I was like, oh, we can't have him either. Like that wouldn't work. But then you also like there's this whole big game of like, all right, then we're gonna make this book. Like, all right, you know, we're gonna make The Last Ronin, and we're gonna make people kind of wonder and speculate who the last Ninja Turtle is. Who's this last Ronin running around with all the weapons? And that's what's so cool about the publication stuff and the promotional. You just have this turtle, and it kind of plays on their origins, because if you don't know, if you're not like a seasoned Ninja Turtle fan, when they first originated, they all wore red headbands. So it was like everybody was like Raphael until they all got individual colors. So it kind of plays on that, like, okay, you don't know who it is, and they all kind of look similar. And then even just going through different iterations of them, they didn't really get individual looks for a long time even after the colors. Then certain things like with the movies and in certain comics, like that's when they started getting more individualized looks. Like, okay, you can start telling the turtles apart besides their what color they're wearing and the weapons. So with the promotional stuff from The Last Ronin, it's just the turtle, and it looks like it's they're wearing a black headband, but then they also they're carrying at least one of each of the weapons from the other brothers. So like you don't know, like they're not gonna give it away like that. And again, like I said, I was surprised to see that they revealed it in the first issue. I thought maybe 3, even like you go through the full 5 issues and reveal it then. Because okay, like realistically, probably issue 2 or 3 when they revealed it. But no, into the first issue. I'm like, oh, okay, last page. So there's that. So again, I really just wanted to drop this to see what everybody's interest was in this story. If you're a Ninja Turtle fan, and if you just kind of been waiting for, like, if it's been, like, you've been feeling hyped for it, or just kind of speculating, like, who you think it might be, what reasons, and who you think it might, like, who it might not be, and why as well. So I just really want to do that because I thought it was cool, because there's, like, reasonings for and against each turtle, and some of them, like, it's just funny, like, just thinking about that, like, all those reasons, and then, like, how they could easily be the Last Ronin, but then, like, something simple, like, similar to Raphael's popularity and Leonardo's kind of legit ninja sensibilities. Like, both of those aspects work against those respective characters. So I think that's kind of funny. So there's, like, that whole game of, wait, would they do this? Or would they do that? Like, are they trying to trick me? Like, is it like a trick question? Or they're trying to play on this, like, wait, no, I think you're going to do this. I think they're going to think this, so they're going to do this instead, just to kind of mess with fans. So I think that's just a whole game in and of itself. So it's like, okay, who could it be? Who could it really be? But again, 5 issues, Last Ronin, October 28th, October 28th, 2020, first issue drops, and there's a ton of variants. There's like 70-something variants. It's insane, like, how many variants there are. So many stores, brick and mortar stores, as well as online shops, and even, like, I've seen a YouTuber who has an exclusive variant. It's absolutely insane, like, that they're just pulling out all the stops for this. I mean, I get it because Ninja Turtles, and I'm constantly surprised by how their popularity has maintained. I honestly thought in the 90s, like, as kind of got out of the 90s and in 2000s, like, oh yeah, Ninja Turtles aren't gonna last. But then they just kind of popped back up, and they just kind of came back into the mainstream and got popular again. Several series, the animated movie, and then a couple live action movies which weren't good, but still out there. More animated series, Nickelodeon, or the move to Nickelodeon. Several toy lines, and even an awful video game, but still another video game, Platinum Games and Activision. So, like, the popularity is just kind of risen back up, and they're hot. They got an ongoing now, which is at, 110 issues? So, and then now we got The Last Ronin. So, it's this dark grit, again, it's a dark gritty story, dystopian New York, a little bit in the future, got flying cars and shit. And there are a couple of familiar faces in there, and we'll also say that if you aren't a seasoned Turtle fan, this is still pretty accessible. It's just probably geared more towards the fans who have a bit more than a passing knowledge of them, because you can take more away from it. But if you just want to read a cool story, like, you can absolutely just step right into this. So again, I just want to run down some reasons why it could be any of those 4 turtles. And again, I won't give you who I thought it was going to be, because I'd already read it, so I can't, I can't do that, like, realistically, because it would just be, like, too easy. So there's definitely easy, like, several reasons for and against why it could be any of the turtles, like popularity, skill set, like, again, Leonardo, Raphael, and, well, each of them have their own skill set and personality, that it could be them, but that also kind of works against them. And then Donatello, even though this isn't connected to that continuity, I guess you could say, he just died. So it's like, oh, like, we could easily do a flip and make him Last Ronin to kind of bounce back from that. And because you think because he's more tech savvy, he's less skilled of a fighter. But, like, okay, you can flip that around and make him outlast everybody. Same for Michelangelo. And then Leonardo, like, oh, people would expect him to be it, but then let's not do it and let's kill him off. But then, since the people expect him, they might think that, let's make him it anyway. And then there's, like, that whole thing for Leonardo and Raphael could work. So it's kind of really, like, interesting, like, the mind games that kind of go into this. And then it's just all the speculation and everybody's kind of hoping. So just drop in the comments. Let me know who you think it might be, who you're hoping it could be, why and why not. Let's hear it all. I want to hear all your speculation, all your thoughts, and just what you hope to see from this story. If you're interested, if you've been hyped for this, if you're looking forward to The Last Ronin, let me know your thoughts all in the comments below. So that's that. This is GENOTHADRAGON. Thanks for watching, and remember, Turtle Power.